in this passage, the passage is about Fukuyama's view on relativism. The passage also talks about the differences between relativism and skepticism. At the end, the author says, skepticism has some benefits, compares them, and seems to end it on a positive note, saying skepticism at least allows people or gives people are a little less frustrated with skepticism. So let's quickly look at the passage before we answer questions. In a blog, now remember, the rule for any RC passage is the same, that you read every line of the passage quickly, but only rephrase or simplify those lines which are important, which is exactly what I'm going to do with you. In a blog on epistemic relativism, Francis Fukuyama writes, "We who live in the modern liberal societies have necessarily accepted a certain degree of moral relativism." So first point that in modern societies, we accept a level of moral relativism. Now you don't have to understand what this means. Move on. Fukuyama doesn't comment on whether this is a good or bad thing, so we are also not going to comment. But chastises, means scolds, postmodernist writers who espouse relativism, promote relativism regarding assertions of fact concerning the outside world. Fukuyama identifies the rise of epistemic relativism, epistemic related to knowledge, with writers who followed Nietzsche, but these themes are present in some book. Bracketing from the question of chronology, is Fukuyama right that relativism is a problem? So first paragraph, what is it you need to process? Fukuyama has some issues with relativism. Is Fukuyama right that relativism is a problem? That's it. You don't need to read anything more about that. Next paragraph, a quick reply is that skeptics eschew the term relativism. Eschew, avoid. Skeptics do not maintain that truth changes depending on time or place. That means relativism does. In 1933, the German philosopher Martin Heidegger believed in the inner truth and greatness of the nationalist socialist cause. Heidegger is a relativist but not a skeptic. Again, we don't have to bother. We only need to know that skeptics don't maintain that truth changes depending on time and place. They avoid any comment on skepticism, but any comments on relativism, but they don't believe that truth changes with space and time. That means relativists do. That's why they're called relativists. To the larger point that epistemic relativism is a problem, skeptics maintain that they do have criteria to make decisions about facts in the world or how to treat other people. These are, according to Sextus, the guidance of nature, the compulsion of feelings, the traditions of laws and customs, and the instructions of the art. For Sextus, now he is quoting two people. For Sextus, nature and culture are the soil from which our ethical dispositions grow. So skeptics or relativists also have some context. Okay, they grow in a context, and that is where their ethical leanings or dispositions grow. Skeptics may be kind to children, help their neighbor, build institutions that reflect the value of their culture. So they are not unaffected by culture. They can be kind. They do all the things. They have a kind of moral tie with the culture in which they exist. In one of Sextus's surviving manuscripts titled Against the Ethicists, he addresses the question of what a skeptic will do if a tyrant commands a forbidden act. So now skeptics, he says, how will a skeptic deal with the question of a tyrant commanding a forbidden act? The skeptic will choose one thing perhaps and avoid the other by the preconception which accords with his ancestral laws and customs, will bear the harsh situation more easily compared with the dogmatic. The critics of skepticism, such as Nussbaum, this seems like evidence that skeptics are passive in the face of injustice. So now they put an example. They say if a skeptic is asked, how will you deal? Suppose a tyrant asks you to do something wrong. How will you deal with it? So the answer that was given was very vague. And based on that, the critics of skeptics have said that they will tolerate injustice. They will keep quiet in the face of injustice. They don't even know whether they will fight tyrants. Now, what is the answer to that? Rising to Sextus's defense, the political scientist John Christian Lawson argues that skeptics can grow up in cultures that believe in watering the tree of liberty. So, people who support skepticism say, no, listen, skeptics can support liberty. They are not like they're supporters of tyrants. They support liberty. They can possess energy, commitment, concern about the political order. One can be committed without a chain of truth to support one's act. So they can be committed to a cause, a good cause, to liberty without really, having the evidence that, look, we are supporting it. Of course, dogmatics can also support tyrants who murder people who disagree with them. Fukuyama wants people to agree on facts about the outside world. Now here comes, at the beginning, the first paragraph he talks, Fukuyama has a problem with relativists about facts concerning the outside world. We don't know what that is. We come back to again to the line, Fukuyama wants people to agree on facts about the outside world. But intelligent people can look at those supposed facts in a variety of ways. Grass is green except at night when it appears black. Skeptics can make arguments like that for a long time. Skeptics encourage us to live our lives in less frustrating ways than demanding some things that humans do not and may not ever possess. That is the truth. So skeptics don't believe that you can obtain the truth. So they say, look, you can still live life without ever obtaining or possessing truth. For example, grass is green. Is that a fact or truth? Well, in the daytime it looks green, but at night it looks black. So this is the way they argue to support their positions. That is the passage. All right. Now let's look at the questions. And when we look at a part of the question that needs us to go back to the passage, we will do that. According to the passage, what is the fundamental difference between epistemic relativism and skepticism? The first paragraph and the second, if at all, gave us some idea about this. Let's quickly look at the options, go back to the passage and search. Skepticism maintains that truth is constant, while epistemic relativism maintains that truth is relative. Okay, now always remember the words are important. Epistemic relativism is about assertion of facts about the outside world, while the skeptics does not believe in facts. Assertion of facts, while the skeptics don't believe in facts. Skepticism opposes the idea of truth, while the epistemic relativists believe that something can be true only within a particular individual's or culture's perspective, not absolutely or universally. Epistemic relativism and skepticism have no fundamental difference, since both believe that truth is not absolute or universal, but according to an individual's culture. Out of these four, which one can you eliminate offhand based on your understanding of the main point of the passage? D. They are not the same. They have totally different views. That much we know. Let's now go back to truth. So what does skepticism say about truth, and what does epistemic relativism say about truth? Let's go back to the part of the passage. This paragraph. Skeptics do not maintain that truth changes depending on place or time. That means relativists believe that truth changes with space or time. Skeptics don't believe in that. Does that mean skeptics do not believe in truth? That's what the option says. So when we look back at the option, skeptics maintain that truth is constant. We don't know. Relativists believe that truth is relative, we know. But we cannot say skeptics believe that truth is constant. No. So A is not correct about the difference between epistemic relativism and skepticism. B. Epistemic relativism is about assertion of facts about the outside world. This is where Fukuyama had a problem with epistemic relativism. He says what they write about the facts about the outside world is not correct. And skeptics don't believe in facts. Do skeptics not believe in facts? Is that what the author says? He says, look, facts can change, right? Like grass is green, at night it looks black, but that does not mean that they don't believe in facts. So B again is not a difference. D anyway we have eliminated, that makes C our answer, but let's look at C. Skepticism opposes the idea of truth, while epistemic relativism believes that something can be true only within an individual's or culture's perspective, not absolutely or universally. Right? Last line of the paragraph, the author says, skeptics believe we can never possess the truth. So the skeptics do not oppose the idea of truth, that a human being can know the truth ever. Right? And what do epistemic relativists say? Within a particular culture, within a particular perspective, you can have it, but it's not an absolute thing. It's not constant. It changes with place and time. Therefore, C is the answer, which gives the correct difference between epistemic relativism and skepticism.